places, everyone.
City National Bank, the way up for Broadway.
Hey, you guys, it's Ruthie Fierberg.
And Felicia Fitzpatrick.
And we are here for Playbill at the Tony Awards.
Another year, another season.
Another season. The 2018-2019 season was one for the books.
Truly.
And we are here to celebrate it just outside Radio City Music Hall in New York City. We cannot wait to talk to everyone. It has just been an absolutely thrilling season.
It is, and I love everyone getting together, the community, everyone's all glammed up. It's a great time.
It's truly amazing. We had a record-breaking season this year.
Yes.
Box office records over $14 million at the box office, more than all three sports teams in New York combined. So who says that people don't love theater? Over 1,700 playing weeks of theater.
Wow.
So we had 34 brand new shows as well as concert specials.
Yes.
But it was, and the play was the thing this year, really.
I feel like this was a play-heavy season. Our first play-heavy season.
I mean, numbers-wise, it's about the same, but it's like, I think new voices and new writers, that's what, there was a lot more buzz around plays than usual.
Yeah.
That's
we
what
had,
I would say.
Choir Boy, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like, there were adaptations,
Right.
There were new writers. It was great. It was amazing.
What was your highlight of the season?
Oh my gosh.
Broadway season.
Right. Everyone has been asking me that, lately, and I'm like, it is so hard to say, but I did love Choir Boy. It was great to see Terrell's work on the stage. Mm-hmm. I loved Ain't Too Proud. I loved The Prom. Hadestown.
It's just an embarrassment of riches. And because everything is so different, right? Like, even in the musical category, you have, like, this body classic musical comedy with The Prom. You have this folk opera with Hadestown. You have a bio musical with Ain't Too Proud. It's just, you have movie adaptations with Tootsie and Beetlejuice. And then the same diversity across the board with plays. So I'm so thrilled to be here, powered by City National Bank. Thank you so much for bringing us to the Tonys. Yes. And we're going to kick off the night.
Let's do it.
Be sure to follow Playbill on all social channels, at Playbill, Twitter, you're already on Facebook, Instagram. Felicia's going to be taking stuff all over the red carpet. We are going to be announcing winners from the Creative Arts Awards beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're so thrilled that you are here to be with us.
What you're wearing, I have to know.
Oh, I am wearing Randy Rom Couture and Oscar Hyman jewelry.
Yes.
Hair by Justin Bowen.
Love Justin Bowen.
Makeup by Ashley Victoria. I'm wearing Michael Kors shoes. I got this amazing M-Quo bag that you'll see later. Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing a classic from Bloomingdale's, but my hair is done by Betsy Elisa, makeup done by Betsy Elisa. And I have never had a braid like this before, and I'm living.
It's
I'm so
amazing.
excited. I gotta do some Beyonce.
Well, I've never worn couture before, so
It's
first time for everything.
Yes, I love it. I'll let you take it away.
All right.
Awesome.
Are we ready, friends? We have Dennis Jones, choreographer for Tootsie, by my side. He was previously nominated for Holiday Inn at Radmouth Theater Company, and we can always count on him to bring the showstoppers. This year, he's bringing the comedy as well, with Tootsie directed by Scott Ellis. He has it's a musical within a musical. So if you are familiar with the movie, Michael Dorsey is an actor who is very, very difficult to work with. And his reputation becomes so horrible, he can't get a job. And when he wants to be cast in a brand new musical, he dresses up as Dorothy Michaels. And there is some choreography from that musical, also known as Juliet's Curse. It is the musical sequel to Romeo and Juliet, as written in the book of Tootsie by Robert Horn. So they're having a lot of fun up on that stage at the Marquee Theater. Also nominated in that category, we have Warren Carlyle for Kiss Me Kate. He's won previously for After Midnight. We have Camille A. Brown, incredible choreographer. She was on Broadway last season with Once on This Island, and she is nominated for a play, and she is the first Black woman to be nominated in 20 years, since Rent, more than 20 years. Who else is nominated in that category? I'm David Newman for Hadestown, of course. Really very grounded movie, very different. If you have been watching Playbill.com, you can learn 6 moves from Hadestown in our video with him. And then finally, Sergio Trujillo for Ain't Too Proud, bringing back the bio musical, The Temptations, that Motown feel. So it's a stacked category, which most of them are. It's been an impressive season, and there are very few categories that I feel comfortable calling a winner. We're also celebrating 50 years since the Stonewall riots down in the Village here in New York City, which is credited with kicking off the modern day pride movement, gay rights movement. And so we have the rainbow behind us here on the Tony Awards red carpet, which we knew that Anna Wintour of Vogue magazine was going to take excellent care of us that way. So we are about to have Dennis Jones coming on the camera for our first interview of the night. Hello!
How are you? You look sensational.
Thank you so much.
God,
You look wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm very, very lucky to have people who care about what I look like.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Well, congratulations. This is your big night.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's so nice to be a part of all of this. It's a very exciting year, a very exciting, season on Broadway. So many great shows.
We were talking about just like in your category alone, there's so much diversity within dance that you're really seeing so many different styles.
Yeah, no, all of the nominated musicals are very different. They really each have their own identity, and it makes it just a very exciting time to be a part of Broadway, and certainly like a uber exciting time to be a part of the Tonys. It's crazy.
Well, I also am noticing that most of you guys actually were dancers first who became choreographers. What is that? Do you think that makes a difference to the way you approach what you do now?
I think it helps. I feel like I understand like the language from being on the other side of it. Like I feel like I know how to talk to dancers because I danced for so long, and I danced in a number of Broadway shows, and I really know what that experience is like and what it requires of a person and stuff. So I think that definitely helps how I can communicate with them.
You know what it takes to do 8 shows a week, whether things are replicable that often.
Yes, indeed. I know what it is because I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about my favorite number in the show. Everybody's favorite number. Lava, lava, lava. What's it even called? What's our number called?
Well, I just call that Ron's dance because Ron Carlisle, the director choreographer in our show within the show, has a certain vocabulary. Dance vocabulary that is not limited to. The fidget spinner is one of his favorite steps. The floor is lava is one of his favorite steps.
Julie Taymor.
Julie Taymor is one of his, in his vocabulary. It's pretty out there, but it's the audience really enjoys it.
The audience really enjoys it. Yeah. What is the key to something like that where you need to make the audience laugh through dance? Like it's hard enough to make people laugh with words. Yeah. How do you make people laugh with dance?
Well, I don't know exactly how you do it, but I know that that's what I was tasked to do because, Robert and David have written such a hilarious show, and the cast is so funny, and the whole evening is just, that is what it is about at the end of the day, is making people laugh. So I felt like I needed to certainly do my bit to also achieve that same goal. So, I hope it's funny too.
Well, break a leg tonight. Congratulations. Always wonderful to see you. Dennis Jones, choreographer for Tootsie, here on the carpet. And we're off. Who are we seeing? I see Ashley Park is here. Aha. We're going to do a little shimmy. Ashley Park is here, former star of Mean Girls. We have Toni Leslie James walking by, nominated for costume design of Bernhard Hamlet. Everybody's taking photos. It is just a celebration. 2 years ago, it was like in the 90s on the carpet. Everyone's faces were melting. The men were melting in their tuxedos. Last year, it was pouring rain. We have finally lucked out with the weather this year. I think it's a good omen for tonight's ceremony, hosted, of course, by James Corden of The Late Late Show with James Corden, but we had him first. He is a Tony Award winner for One Man, Two Governors, lead actor in a play back in 2012, and has very much continued to bring theater to his late night shows with everything from Crosswalk the Musical to Carpool Karaoke to his most recent, I loved his bromance with Ben Platt. Anybody catch that? If you've missed any of these, we write them all up on Playbill.com, so be sure to check it out. Who's here today? Let's see. Hi, Miranda. We have Greg Everett. Say hi. Let me know what questions you want answered from all of your favorite stars. Brian Fisher, we are live. I know that it's you're on the West Coast for the ceremony, but we are live here on the red carpet, happy to bring it to you in real time. Who else do we have? Courtney O'Flynn is so ready. I want to hear below, what were your favorite shows of this season? Who are you excited to see tonight? What performances are you looking forward to? I'm really excited to see Too Darn Hot again from Kiss Me Kate, but I also hear that the performance from Beetlejuice is going to have some custom lyrics for the Tony Awards broadcast, so I'm pretty excited about that one. Rachel Glickman has tuned in. Kate and Avery can't wait to see the cast of The Prom. You know what? Me too, because I was fortunate enough to make a one-night-only cameo Broadway debut. For those of you who've seen The Prom, you know that the show opens very much like this, with a woman and a microphone on the opening night of Eleanor, the Eleanor Roosevelt musical. And I got to play myself for one night, and that cast is superb, the most generous people. So we're absolutely cheering them on. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and the compliments tuning in. We're going to talk to Daniel Kluger in just a moment. He's the Tony-nominated orchestrator for Oklahoma. Daniel. Hi, Ruthie from Playbill.
Can I give you that cookie? Hi, Ruthie.
He just got a Schmackery's cookie. I'm jealous.
Hilarious.
I know. Everybody loves Schmackery's, right? Congratulations on your nomination. What is it like now, you know, having gone from off-Broadway in a really small space and then to go to Broadway where it's still very intimate, but it is, you know, it's different, and to still have those stripped-down orchestrations?
Yeah. You know, as we developed the piece, we wanted to make sure we could fill a larger room, and so along the way we added a cello to the show, which wasn't there at one point. But weirdly, Circle in the Square feels, I think, a little bit more intimate than it did at St. Anne's Warehouse.
Interesting.
So it's surprising. There are obviously more seats, but the room, the way it sort of folds in on itself, feels a little bit more intimate.
So when you went to revisit this, do you look at the full orchestrations the way they were and subtract, or do you look at like the vocal score and just add fewer and fewer layers than we're used to?
Great question. It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I mean, it's really important to honor the original orchestration that Robert Russell Bennett created, because so many of those instrumental lines are part of what people think of as the DNA of the song. So I tried to include as many of those elements as I could.
What's your favorite number with this reorchestration that you are either most proud of, or you just, every time you hear it, it makes you smile?
Probably the end of the Dream Ballet, because nobody sees it coming.
Yeah. It's really wild that, well, spoiler alert, there's a guitar, and not the kind you would think in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But also Lonely Room. I think Patrick Vale's performance is really staggering.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. Best of luck
Talking to
tonight.
you. Thanks.
Congratulations. Daniel Kluger. All right. Who else do we have here? Yes, please. Tony-nominated playwright Mark Crowley for the revival of The Boys in the Band.
Hi there.
Hello, congratulations.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Isn't this exciting for your play, The Boys in the Band, to be here, and 50 years of pride since the Stonewall riots?
Yes, I mean, the confluence of the two tonight is incredible. I'm so happy for the 50th anniversary of Stonewall, and boy, it sure marks an era, the end of one horrible era, and the beginning of a wonderful new one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You had an incredible cast for this show. Robin DeJesus nominated for tonight, Matt Bomer, Andrew Rannells, Charlie Carver, Benjamin Washington. I mean, the list goes on. Zach Quinto and Jim Parsons. Whose performance maybe made you look at one of your characters in a new way that you hadn't originally thought of him that way?
Well, you know, I was most impressed. I mean, they were all fabulous. Let me put it that way, from the top, every one of them. But Matt Bomer was particularly interesting, I thought, because he came in and he didn't have it really set in the beginning, and he developed as the weeks went on, and I thought by the time that the show opened, he was doing a fantastic job, and it was an interpretation of that part that was sharper and clearer, and I mean, more likable than anybody I've ever seen do it before. Yeah.
It was very endearing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering David Zinn's set for that show.
Oh my God, David Zinn's set. I'm stunned that he's not nominated. I thought it was the most gorgeous set. Red on red on red on
Red on red, and how he conceives of it as the jewelry box,
Yeah.
where all of these men are laid out in kind of in their glory.
Yeah, and I told him it reminded me of Diana Vreeland and what she said about her own apartment, which was red on red on red. She had told the decorator, I want a garden in hell. And I think that's what David Zinn delivered. Fabulous garden in hell.
Fabulous. It was just so plush and rich, and the mirrors, there's so much storytelling.
I said it may be a garden in hell to some people because of the behavior of the characters, but I thought it was like a delicious big bowl of cherries. It was great.
I agree. And to be nominated after all of these years, and to have the playwright specifically recognized, not just the production with a revival.
Changed this year, to include the playwright, and so I'm very lucky. Very
Fantastic, Mark. Such a pleasure to meet you. Break a leg tonight. Thank you so much. Mark Crowley, playwright of The Boys in the Band, which opened so soon after the last opening of the 2017-2018 season. You may have forgotten about it. It opened May 31st of 2018, so it was before the Tony Awards, but still part of this current season. As we were saying, it starred an all-star cast, including Jim Parsons of The Big Bang Theory, Zachary Quinto, Andrew Rannells. Robin DeJesus is nominated for the show tonight, as well as the production being nominated for Best Revival of a Play. If you've never seen the play, find a production somewhere or read it. I mean, Crowley's words are incredible and really a different way, here with the pride flag behind us, it's easy to forget a time when being out in public, as gay men was illegal. And it really causes you to reflect on the history and how far we have come, thankfully, in many ways, and how far we still have to go. Life is a work in progress, of course. So we are going to have the writers of Beetlejuice coming on, Scott Brown and Anthony King, who adapted the film which starred Michael Keaton to the stage. It now stars Alex Brightman, who is a two-time Tony nominee. He was last here with School of Rock as Dewey and now is the titular role in Beetlejuice. I love that show. It is just so zany and eccentric and just super fun. Like, if you just want a really good time at the theater, Beetlejuice is your number, and it's got these wild costumes by William Ivy Long, also nominated tonight. The technical elements are incredible with David Corn's set and lighting by Ken Posner and Peter Negrini. It really is impressive. Alrighty, here they come.
You guys have cookies?
Hello.
Yes, they have cookies.
You want to know what? I don't have cookies, but I did a writer's roundtable with this one,
that's
so
right.
I feel like I get some points.
No, she gave me way more rope to hang myself than I deserve. So that's no cookies, but
Well, if you hang yourself, at least you'll end up in a hilarious netherworld.
that's right. That's true. Of our own design. That's great.
One of the things you were telling me, though, is like how many versions of this script you went through. That there was a version where Lydia actually meets her mom, and all the things that went along the way. What are some of the other things? Like, how could we have seen Beetlejuice that is different from what we saw now?
Probably the most bizarre version was there was a version where Lydia was a mascot of a fried chicken restaurant that her father ran. She was called Little Lydia's Chicken. And he was kind of more of a
like Wendy,
like in Wendy's, the Wendy's icon, and her dad. And so yeah.
Wait, what inspired that?
That was a version that did not have her mother dead, and so we were like, what is she so mad about?
And of course we came up with, you're a chicken mascot because it's relatable, because every kid's like, I hope I don't end up a chicken mascot.
Been stuck on a sign.
Yeah.
That is wild. I can't even imagine her not being death obsessed because her mom has passed away.
It wasn't good. It was not.
Well, that's why we have the version we have now.
That's right.
Talk to me about all of the stagecraft elements that are in it because they're extraordinary. Are those things that you like write in, like great to have her levitate now, or is that stuff get mixed in later?
I mean, both.
Both. I mean, I think the exciting thing about this was because Alex Timmers was involved and also David Corns from an early time. We were talking about what was possible on stage and what also was impossible on stage early. So we had a lot of like that kind of back and forth going on. But I think the thing that we wrote very early that we were really excited was there's a pig that comes to life in the show, and that was in like the first draft of like Delia gets attacked by a pig. So
There it is. It still happens.
And Alex read that and was like, okay.
yeah, we can do that.
You have such a phenomenal cast from Alex to Sophia Ann Caruso, Rob McClure, Carrie Butler, and Leslie Kritzer, of course, Adam. Tell me about a joke you wrote or even just a line you wrote that was very much inspired by who is playing that role.
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, Brightman.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
There's a whole menu of things that once Brightman came on board and the voice of Beetlejuice kind of became part of his.
Is there one that comes to mind in particular?
I think to me, there's one where he, I don't know how blasphemous we can get on this, but where he hits on Rob McClure's character, Adam, and just in the middle of talking about something else, says, "Jesus Christ, why do you be so sexy?" And that was completely inspired of like working with Brightman.
Because he's absurd.
He's absurd. He's completely absurd.
Yeah, I know for anything.
I love that. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Best of luck tonight. Enjoy yourselves. You've earned it. Anthony King and Scott Brown, book writers of Beetlejuice the Musical. Speaking of Beetlejuice the Musical, Eddie Perfect is standing by my side. He wrote the score to Beetlejuice in addition to the score for King Kong, which is on Broadway. He's nominated tonight for Beetlejuice in particular, but wow, to write 2 shows in a season is no easy feat. He is from Australia, so we're bringing some people from all the way across the world to bring us musicals. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I'm loving the love. I'm trying to look around, make sure we don't miss anyone for you. It's a hectic carpet. I see choreographer Warren Carlisle coming this way, nominated tonight for Kiss Me Kate. He has previously directed the Tony Awards as well. So we're going to ask him about that, what that's like. Hello!
Hi! Look at you. You look amazing.
Thank you. Well,
Can you do a little
we can, well, I can. Yes, so I got ready in part at Warren's house because your partner is an incredible hairstylist. Thank you, Justin. So we got to spend some quality time this morning. How are you feeling? You relaxed? You good now?
No, I feel good. I feel good.
Well, he had a little party this morning. Tell us about what you did for your cast because it's really such an incredible gesture.
Oh, so I realized, the cast of Kiss Me Kate, their call to get ready was 6 a.m. at the theater. 6 a.m. for dress rehearsal. So I decided I catered a breakfast. We had breakfast burritos. And I hired a mariachi band just because I think it's so fun.
Because we love a theme.
Right? It's so fun. It's so up. And that music when you walk in was such a surprise. And the band were wonderful. So we had a really great hour and a half getting ready this morning.
Amazing. Your choreography is nominated tonight. I mean, you just managed to one-up yourself in every number. We spoke a lot about kind of the imagery that was going on in Too Darn Hot. Tell everyone else out there a little bit more about that and the pictures you wanted to create.
I mean, Too Darn Hot is a very period piece, It's set in 1948. The number jives and swings and taps, so it's classic Broadway. But I also had these kind of melted candle shapes going on. You'll see it in the button. You'll see it as the kids are sitting around in the staging of it. All these shapes are like those Salvador Dali paintings,
Yes.
melted.
Yes. Like the melt. I'm thinking of the melted clock
That's
in
right.
my brain.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Were there other numbers throughout the show that I know you have a lot of character-driven numbers? Were there other numbers that you were really cognizant of the pictures and the symbolism in them?
I mean, actually, always. It's secretly between us, I balance my pictures. Just between us, I balance my pictures. I count how many people are on the side of the stage, and I look at that, and I'm careful that it's never like the Titanic, that I'm never lopsided. And every time something stops, it has to look good.
You are thinking of so many things because as we spoke, you're not just creating the dance and the movement, you're creating it to new music, and that you like to work very closely with your dance arranger.
Yeah, I mean, for me, music and choreography go so much hand in glove that it's very important. The music is very important to me, and sometimes it's like chicken and egg. Sometimes the music comes first and I'll dance to the music, but other times actually the choreography comes first, or a shape will come first, or an idea or a feeling will come first, and then David Chase, who happened to write the dance music for Kiss Me Kate, will then write to that movement.
Right, you'll say, this is what we're doing, so like if we're melting, we need a slide.
Yeah, exactly right, exactly right.
I know that you've previously directed the Tony Awards. What is that? How, like, when we go inside and watch this tonight, you watching from a director's perspective, what are the things that you look at that amaze you?
Oh, I love how it runs. You know, Glenn Weiss and Ricky Kirshner are the best in the whole world. The best in the whole world. And they run such a tight ship, and I had a great time with them. I staged the Tonys twice with them. And, you know, it's really interesting to watch how much work it takes. They work for months and months and months on end to be ready for one live show. I mean, it's really fascinating.
Well, congratulations. We will be cheering for you tonight.
Thank you. Love you. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Warren Carlisle, everyone, choreographer for Kiss Me Kate. And we're just continuing on. I think now is as good a time as any to thank our sponsor for tonight, City National Bank. They are bringing this live stream to you, and we are so grateful to them. Here's a word from City National Bank.
Love is in the air.
City National Bank, the way up for Broadway.
We are here with Warren Carlisle, nominated for Best Choreography for
A quick word. All right, I'm looking around at the whole room.
I love it.
Who are we seeing? I apologize that you see so much of the back of my head, but it is all in service to you so that we can see all of the stars, because that's who you're really here to see.
I love this business. I love my job.
Ashley Park is in this stunning, like, chartreuse gown. I am all about it. Who else are we seeing? I will say, I got the inside scoop on the Billy Porter's outfit. Wait until you see it. You are going to die. And be sure to tune in to Playbill.com tomorrow for the entire story of how it was made, because it is an homage to theater. It's an homage to his theater history. And I can't say more than that without getting in trouble. Who do I see tonight? Camille A. Brown in a stunning aqua tulle gown. Oh, yes. We will talk to her. She's nominated tonight again for Choir Boy for her choreography of the play, and they are actually going to be performing during the broadcast as well. Speaking of Choir Boy, this is Terrell Alvin McCraney's Broadway debut. He is an Oscar winner for his story that was adapted into Moonlight by Barry Jenkins. This is his first Broadway show, and I say more Terrell Alvin McCraney, please. It's by far from his first play, but his first Broadway show at Manhattan Theater Club. It starred the incomparable Jeremy Pope, nominated twice tonight. First in the lead actor in a play category for Choir Boy, and second for featured actor in a musical for Ain't Too Proud. He plays Eddie Kendricks, one of the original quintet of the Temptations. Only 5 other people before Jeremy have been nominated twice in the same season. 2 of them won once in their season. The first is Amanda Plummer, and the second is Mark Rylance. Mark Rylance is much more recent history. He won for 12th Night when he was doing 12th Night in Richard III in Rep. So he was nominated, both for plays. Jeremy nominated for a musical and a play. It also marks his double debut this season. He had not been on Broadway until this point, and of course not. He's a ripe old 26 years old. So we're potentially making history tonight. Hi. Yes, please. We're bringing Camille A. Brown over to us. I have to find out who she is wearing. because it is absolutely stunning. I always love talking to her. She's another person who is a dancer who has become a choreographer. She continues to choreograph with her own dance company, Camille A. Brown Dance. You may have seen her work at the Joyce or at Jacob's Pillow, but she is just a supreme dancer. Brenna Glass, I see we have Jeremy Pope fans out there. All right. Billy Porter was there this morning wearing one of his signature over-the-top outfits. Yes, it is going to be signature and over-the-top, designed by, well, actually, I don't know that I'm allowed to say anything. We'll wait for him to hit the carpet and come visit us. Hello. All right. Camille's taking a few photos. All right. In the meantime, tell me who you have questions for and what those questions are. I will do my absolute best to remember and to ask them when they come by. If you're just tuning in right now, we are live on the red carpet of the Tony Awards, the 73rd annual ceremony here at Radio City Music Hall. I am Ruthie Fierberg, Senior Features Editor at Playbill, and we are so thrilled to be here on Broadway's biggest night. If you've never tuned into a live stream before, we do this on the opening nights of Broadway. We did every single one this season, with the exception of, I think, 2 that they just did a party. They didn't invite press, but when they invite press, we are there. It has been a thrilling season. 34 new productions on Broadway this season. It is an incredibly diverse array of storytelling, different sounds, beautiful casts on this stage. I have not seen Bryan Cranston arrive yet. He, of course, is nominated tonight for his performance in Network as Howard Beale, the adaptation of Patty Chayefsky's film. Who out there knows the name Patty Chayefsky? Hopefully you do. Hopefully you watched Fosse Verdon on FX. Written by Stephen Levinson, Tony Award winner for Dear Evan Hansen, as well as Joel Fields of The Americans. Directed by Thomas Kail, Tony Award winner for Hamilton, and also responsible, of course, for In the Heights. We have not seen Heidi Schreck yet. They are ask her if they're going to preserve the original show. Every show on Broadway is preserved by Toft, Theater on Film and Tape, thanks to Lincoln Center, so it will be preserved that way. There have not been announcements of Netflix or anything like that. The show is going to go on tour, and it is currently extended through August, so get yourself to the Hayes Theater on Broadway to see Heidi Schreck. She is double nominated tonight for Best Play as well as Lead Actress in a Play. Ashley Park and Camille Brown in the background taking photos together. Stephanie Block is not here yet. We are at the very beginning of this long, long carpet. So if you're tuning in right now, you're at the start of it. The stars have yet to arrive. So many of them had matinees today. As you heard Warren Carlyle saying, he gave his cast breakfast because they go to dress rehearsal and then they get on the bus and go to their theater, get ready to do a matinee, do the matinee, get on the bus, do the performance in the Tony Awards, get back. So they do a full show today, even though they did rehearsal this morning and the Tony Awards tonight. I have not yet seen Kelly O'Hara. I have not yet seen Celia Keenan Bolger. I believe the actors are usually a little later. Right now we have creatives. I see Robert Horn, who is now the Drama Desk winning book writer of Tootsie. He also wrote 13, the musical. Anybody remember that? Jason Robert Brown tuner. And he, of course, is very well known from television for shows like Designing Women. He, as well as book writer Scott Brown, who we spoke to earlier from Beetlejuice, joined me in our roundtable. Playbill does a roundtable every single year. This year we chose to talk to the book writers of a musical because I think that things are very convoluted with what is the book of a musical, and we wanted to clarify that and talk about all the different types of books of musicals there are and can be. So Robert participated in that roundtable, illuminating. If you haven't watched it, go to playbill.com, take a gander. Of course, Videography was provided by our video content manager, Roberto Araujo, who is behind the camera tonight, so we thank him greatly for always providing us the best in video content. If you are missing Felicia Fitzpatrick, who is often on the carpet with me, she is on Instagram duty, so be sure to tune into Playbill's Instagram for all of the behind-the-scenes action here on the carpet. People are excited for Joe Iconis, nominated tonight for Best Score for Be More Chill. I see people excited, of course, for Alex Brightman, nominated for Beetlejuice, playing the demon himself. Hilarious and ribald. I love that performance. I see Judith Light. She's a little ways down, but I see Judith Light. I got to have an incredible conversation with her. She is a special Tony honoree tonight for the Isabel Stevenson Tony Award, recognizing her service to the LGBTQ community over so many years. We did a piece with her in the June Playbills, and we have Mr. Robert Horn. Hi, great to see you.
Don't objectify in any way, but you look gorgeous.
Thank you. I will take a very kind, intended compliment.
Thank you.
Thank you. You look fabulous as well.
There it is. Thank you.
Who are you wearing?
This is Joseph Aboud, styled by Sam Rattel at Triple R Creative.
You look, look at these tuxedo buttons, you guys. A little flair.
I got scared when they told me what they were worth. I was like, that's more than we make right in theater.
Well, luckily we're here to celebrate theater tonight. And congratulations, since I last spoke to you, you have won the Drama Desk Award for this show. What has been the experience to just be so well received by audiences and critics alike, and to know that people are enjoying the work that you've put out there?
It's incredible. And it's incredible because, as you know, theater is such a collaborative art form. And anytime any one of us gets celebrated, the entire show gets celebrated because we all did it together. It's so hard to just isolate this and it's so rewarding to know that we created something that audiences are enjoying, that they're coming in and they're laughing. 1,600 people sit there.
It is nonstop laughter. Is there a joke that, you knew you were writing a joke in the moment, but that you are surprised gets the reaction that it does?
Well, that's an interesting question because different jokes get different reactions every night. And so, yeah, there are nights people laugh at something and I'm like, that's not really a joke. Why are they laughing at that? And then there are jokes that every night you see it coming and and it hits every night.
Amazing. You are working with some incredible talents nominated tonight. You have 4 of your actors nominated with Andy Gordelucian, Santino Fontana, Lily Cooper, and Sarah Stiles. Are there lines that you wrote specifically because those are the people that you built the characters around?
Absolutely. David and I wrote a first draft, and then Scott Ellis came on board, and then everything started to change, and then we cast it, and everything started to change. I love actors. I worship actors because I could never do it, and I don't know how they do what they do.
Well, they do it with good lines.
They do it with, it's a marriage, and yes. So David and I both worked with the actors as we were going and really developed it on them and with them.
So can you give me an example of a line that's there because it's Sarah Stiles?
There are a lot of lines. Sarah Stiles is fearless, and she will try anything. I don't want to give a line away in the show, but there's a line about a cat and something she did with her cat. And I had written the first part of the joke, and then we had done it, and she made a kind of a remark about the joke, and that got me to. I said, "Oh, here's what she actually did," and the joke is a very visual joke, and so it changed. Yes.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. We're so thrilled for you. Enjoy inside. Great to see you too.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Robert Horn, book writer for Tootsie. I'm wondering if we shift a little this way, so when people come in, we get. You tell me. We might shift a little so that we're getting everyone straight on this way. But yes. Hi. So great to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Congratulations. I mean, to have the play itself recognized speaks to what all of you are doing on that stage. How have dress rehearsals for Inside been going? You feel good about what's going to happen later?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I'm a little nervous, but I feel good. I definitely
Has it been nice to reunite with everyone? Because you guys are close, so it's especially wonderful to be recognized in that way.
Yes. It's just so good to be with my brothers again. It's like we never lost a day. It really is like that.
One of my favorite parts about your character is just how supportive he is of Ferris. You know, in Choir Boy, Ferris is a young gay black man who knows himself, and you know he's at boarding school, so he has a straight roommate. And you are just that character is so gentle with him. Talk to me about building that relationship and building your character.
Oh, building that relationship was pretty easy with Jeremy because like he's been a part of this show since the very beginning. I was a newcomer, so he knew how the show worked, ushered me in, told me the ins and outs, what works, what doesn't work, and I just listened. And I was like, okay, I'm here for you, and that's literally what my character does. He's a listener. Like he listens to Ferris whenever he needs someone to listen to him, and I feel like that definitely carried on stage.
Listening is underrated. Underrated. It's so true, but it's crucial in responding the way you do on stage and being a good friend. Let's go with that. Jason Michael Webb is being honored tonight. He was your vocal arranger, music director on this. Talk to me about working with him and listening to each other to form that singular a cappella sound.
Oh, what I love about him, he doesn't hide it. If you're doing great, he'll tell you. If you're doing bad, he'll tell you. And he doesn't mince words. And that's how I love to work. I need to know if I'm sucking. I need to know if I'm doing great. And he lets me know.
Tell me like it is.
Seriously, I need people like that, and he's that person for sure.
Is there a specific number that you miss most performing?
Love Ballad. The dream sequence, that was so much fun. So much fun.
With Caleb, I love that song.
Mm-hmm. And he slayed it every night.
Well, you are looking fly tonight. Who are you wearing?
Oh, it's nothing big. I literally just ordered this. This is nothing big.
But yes, we're putting things together ourselves.
Yes, just myself.
Do it the theater way. That is the theater way. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course.
Break a leg tonight. We can't wait to see you on stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're doing it. It's the Tony Awards. We have Clint Ramos coming on. He's nominated tonight for a Tony for his costume design of Torch Song. Hello, my darling.
You look so beautiful. Are there diamonds left in New York?
Are they amazing? Well, so do you. Look at your sparkle.
Oh, thank you. These are all my mom's chains.
Oh, I love that. I was going to say, did you design your own look tonight?
I did, actually. Yeah.
See, costume designers, they get to have it all.
Yes, I did. You know, I was supposed to wear somebody, and it didn't turn out well, and so I just said, you know what, let me whip something up. Yeah, listen.
Well, doing your own seems to work because you're nominated for a Tony tonight. Congratulations. I mean, you got to do so many different things. Talk to me about getting into the period of, the 70s and the 80s for Torch Song.
No, I mean, it was a very interesting period because also this is sort of like when, really gay culture kind of really blossomed, but also was like being assaulted by the government and by AIDS and all that. And so I think that to me was really interesting. I just to plunge into my own history, and the way Harvey has sort of re-examined the whole play was just so wonderful in terms of just like the richness of it.
I personally love looking at like men in bell bottoms again. Like that was everything.
Obsessed. Also like how really sexual they were because it was really high, it was really tight around the pelvis, so it was very, very sensuous, Yeah.
Well, but that goes with the theme of the show, right? And like discovering sexuality and figuring out, what it means to be a gay man at that time.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it was about like, trying to really figure out how you can express yourself sexually, but also not be too much to be in danger, So it was
and then the opposite end of the spectrum with Mercedes Rule's costume, like, the matronly mama who... Very uptight, Talk to me about working with her and creating that character through clothing.
I just looked at a lot of like research, especially of a lot of like snowbirds, who like lives in Florida and were raised in New York at that time. I looked at a lot of that extent research and just looked at how like wonderfully they were dressed, Yeah.
Well, I think that's people don't realize that costume design. You really have to be looking at the period, and you're looking at images, and you're. It's all different things.
It's really less about fashion, but more about sociology, trying to figure out what that particular character put on that day,
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Clint Ramos, everyone. I'm going to see if we can get Hi.
Real scenic designer for A2 Proud.
Sure. Hi, Robert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. You are co-nominated tonight with your projection designer, Peter Negrini, as well. What a gorgeous collaboration with this show.
Thank you.
Talk to me about, I know that Detroit needed to really come through in this production, that Dominique really wanted the city to come through. So talk to me about integrating that into your design.
Really when we started working on the project, we looked at a lot of imagery of Detroit. And one of the things we really sort of focused on is the fact that, the Temptations spent so much of their career in and out of theaters. And so looking at the Fox Theater and looking at all the different kinds of venues that they played over their career was really the beginning of how to shape the show. That really a theater should be the framework for the show. And so we looked at a lot of history of Motown, Hitsville, at the time, and really tried to find what were those wonderful kind of iconic essential elements that would help the storytelling.
Well, it's also in terms of the storytelling, the functionality of the set, because it's, you've got montages and you've got scenes happening in the middle of songs and things coming on automated and panels and all of that. So talk to me about making sure that the set functions in a way that is smooth and seamless.
It's a real testament to this amazing crew that we have. It is, they are amazing. I mean, we started this show at Berkeley Repertory Theater in California. We did it on tour in a few venues around the country, and now we're at the Imperial Theater. And it's, so much of the show is automated. But it's so synchronized with that fantastic company, that we are so lucky to have on stage. Incredible stage managers. So it's a real treat because you have people performing really at the top of their game.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you so much.
Hello. Hi, Ruthie from Playbill. Hello. It's so wonderful to see you. Tell me, what is the feeling of being here when you don't have to worry about what's going to happen and you can just enjoy? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing the show. It's Oklahoma.
I mean, I should think so.
Yes, very much.
What was it like to see this new take on it, something so drastically different from what you did?
It was very, very different. And for a while, I sat there and watched. I thought, well, I'm not sure. But the acting was so wonderful and everything was done so well in every way. I was thrilled.
What is your take on reviving something with such a different lens? There are some purists who are very upset, other people who think like, oh, this is exciting to see something so new.
Yeah, well, mostly I like going back to the old one. But if I see really fine actors doing a fine job in the new one, then I love that too.
Yeah. Share with me a memory from your time in the show that just will never leave you.
Well, I was a very young girl and I was cast in the motion picture, of Oklahoma. And that was incredible. And I was the first person put under personal contract to Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Wow.
They're the ones that did it.
Well, yes, of course. And working with Agnes on the film as well, of course. Well, congratulations. Enjoy tonight. Shirley Jones from the original movie Oklahoma. We've been talking so much about all of these shows tonight. We're going to give you a peek at just one of them. Take a look.
I am a great actor, Stan.
You have one of the worst reputations in this town. No one will hire you.
Something's wrong with Biscuit.
Next.
Carla, I threw it all away for you.
Get out. People hate you.
No one hates me.
No one likes you.
Excuse me. Yes, hello. Hi, my name is Dorothy Michaels.
A 1-2, watch me, fussy arm. Julie Taymor. This is textbook Broadway, people.
Don't you find being a woman right now complicated?
Right now, extremely, yeah.
I won't let you down because you believed in me, and now anybody
and we are back at the Tony Awards Red Carpet Live outside of Radio City Music Hall. It has been an eventful carpet so far. We've heard from book writers, we've heard from creative team members like costume design, choreographers, scenic designers. Don't worry, the majority of the stars are not yet here. I promise we will get everyone you want to see. We did just speak to Shirley Jones, which was fabulous and iconic. She was in the original Oklahoma movie. Of course, Oklahoma is nominated tonight for Best Revival of a Musical in a very new vision by director Daniel Fish, who is nominated as well. He is a first-time nominee because this is his Broadway debut with a Rodgers and Hammerstein classic. I'm looking around to make sure that we see everyone you want to see. I know that Matthew Sklar and Chad Beglin, composer-lyricists of The Prom, are on the carpet tonight. We are thrilled for The Prom. 7 Tony nominations tonight for a completely original musical based on an idea by Jack Viertel, who does a lot of the programming over at City Center, and then written by Bob Martin and Chad Beglin. Bob, of course, the Tony-nominated, the Tony-winning book writer of The Drowsy Chaperone, and he and Matt and Chad all worked together on Elf the Musical, which also starred Beth Level, who is nominated tonight for The Prom. You see, there are just connections every which way you look. Giselle Chevalier, I love you too. I hope that's how you say your last name. It's very fancy. Aaron Tveit and Karen Olivo are here tonight. They, along with Danny Burstein, are presenting the Creative Arts Awards. So in case you didn't know, the broadcast on CBS goes live at 8 p.m., but when they come back from commercial and say, while you were gone, so-and-so won for lighting design, that actually happened in the 7 to 8 p.m. hour of the Creative Arts Awards. So Karen, Aaron, and Danny are hosting that together this year. Karen Olivo and Aaron Tveit about to star in the upcoming Moulin Rouge, which I saw out of town in Boston at the Colonial Theater. You guys, it is outstanding. I have never seen anything like this. We are so excited to have Karen Olivo back on a Broadway stage. Aaron as well, of course, but it's been less time since we last saw him. So we are very excited to have them here tonight. Georgia Friend, hello from the UK. Thank you so much for tuning in. David Drummond, oh, I love this. I love this. David Corrins is coming back this way. Scenic designer for Beetlejuice the Musical, Tony nominated tonight. Hello!
Come on.
How
look
are
fantastic.
you? Thank you, so do you.
So what are we talking about?
Well, just a little thing called the Tony Awards.
Hi.
This is your third nomination?
Third nomination.
Warpaint, Hamilton, Beetlejuice. I think it could be, we're going to cross our fingers, that third time is the charm for you.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
I mean, come on, it's just like it was written for it.
I mean, from your mouth.
We were talking about all of the different little homages and Easter eggs to Tim Burton that are buried in the set. Give our audience out there a fun one.
There is a portrait in the Maitland's house over the fireplace that is a screenshot of the opening section, the establishing shot from the movie that I grabbed. I took it, I hand painted it into the colors of the set, and then we put it on the set.
You guys,
that's a real Easter egg. That's like literally the little Vermont town they shot the movie in.
Oh my God!
Well, we got hundreds of them.
Well, you do. I mean, just from the textures in the walls to like that chandelier that we were talking about is like Jack's bow tie from Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, you were having too much fun with this.
Well, if you're not having fun, what are you doing, right?
Talk to me about working with Ken and Peter to really, because seeing your set in like work light versus their lighting is such a different experience. How much are you like communicating about, well, I need more color here, or they're saying I need more texture here?
We're talking a lot, but also those guys are, and I'm not just saying this, they are two of the best designers working today. They are each in their own right geniuses and great dramaturgs and artists. And so when they have an impulse, you kind of want to like fan that flame and like keep going. They're incredible. And their work together, one of the things I'm most proud of is that you don't really know where the lighting ends, the projection starts, the scenery ends, the costumes. It's a really, really beautiful collaboration.
And then you also had to work with Michael Curry, the puppet designer, because we have puppets coming out of all.
Didn't have to work, got to work. That guy, forget it. I mean,
But talk to me about making sure that, you know, that they're, like, at what point did the puppet design come in and you have to make sure that your wing is big enough for...
the deal with Michael Curry is you tell him the space and you get the hell out of the way. Because that guy is really,
Next
really
level.
at the top of the craft. And it really was an honor and is an honor to work with him when I get that chance to do it. And he delivers at such a high level. It's a beautiful collaboration, but really that guy is extraordinary. His team is top-notch.
Well, all of you really delivered this wacky, vibrant, crazy world that we love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations and enjoy tonight.
I love hanging out with you.
I love chilling with David Corns. He's the best. All right. We have, yes, Karen Olivo. I didn't even notice her beside me. How did I not feel the presence? I was a little distracted because I see Judith Light over yonder. Again, she's here tonight to receive the Isabel Stevenson Tony Award for her service to the LGBTQ community. Such an advocate, an example to us all. It's gonna be jockeying. We might have to take them at the same time. I love that people are tuning in from all over the world. Drew Holmes, welcome from Down Under. We know that we have an Aussie nominated tonight in the category Best Score with Eddie Perfect for Beetlejuice. Christy Hernandez, I'm going to do everything in my power to grab Karen Olivo next to me, and we're looking for Aaron Tveit. Again, they, along with Danny Burstein, are doing the Creative Arts Awards tonight. And happy Pride to all of us. I love this homage to Pride here on the red carpet. It's a forest of pride, and I am here for it. Hello, Alejandro from Illinois. I love this. Hi, Brett Parr. Thank you for tuning in.
People aren't that nice. So the theater world is a true family because we all know how hard it is to do what we do. So I'm really excited to be back with all these people who are just lifting me up.
Well, luckily, I got to see you in Hamilton and Chicago, and then saw you last summer in Boston. I am bonkers excited for Moulin Rouge. I know you guys have been in rehearsal. What are some of the things that you've been working on that have been changing?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
What I can tell you is that the things that you will hear sonically will blow your mind.
It is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you guys, this is a spoiler from Boston. Who knows if it'll happen again, but she made me cry to Katy Perry's Firework. Like, you really hear the lyrics in the way that these arrangements are, and it makes, like, pop tunes, you're like, oh, they have real stories in them.
Yeah, Justin Levine, who picked all of our music, he's our music orchestrator, is a brilliant actor and composer, and he really looked for the right lyric for each character to sing. And so that's one of the things. It's going to be pop music that you know and love, but with a through line of a story that you also know and love. It's pretty miraculous.
And the Creative Arts Awards tonight, I mean, that show is a perfect example of why you need everyone who makes theater.
We're giving out so many Tony Awards tonight. You are. And it's not televised, which is a shame, in my opinion. We need 2 nights of Tonys. I feel like everyone...
Or just the extra hour.
Right, why not?
Or just the extra hour.
Right.
We're going to campaign for the extra hour.
Yes. Come on, you guys.
And then you would get to see Karen Olivo hosting it. I mean, come on.
Hosting? Wait a minute. Wait, how do we get...
Hosting the Creative Arts.
Okay. I was like,
hosting the Creative Arts.
But...
I mean, if you want to host the whole Tony.
I'm good.
No, she's good. All right. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations.
Take care.
Karen Olivo, star, Tony Award winner herself for West Side Story when she was in the 2009 revival as Anita. I see Judith Light here in so many sequins. She is just glowing. I know I see Matt and Chad. We're going to get them after Judith. Karen Olivo playing Satine, the Nicole Kidman role from Moulin Rouge, the musical, opening at the Al Hirschfeld in July. I'm nervous. Okay, you want to talk? You talk to them first. We'll talk to Judith and then we'll switch. See, coordinating live, people, coordinating live. We want to make sure we get you everybody. I'm holding for Judith Light. She is a 2-time Tony Award winner. She is actually one of the few people who have won back-to-back Tony Awards, one for Other Desert Cities and one for The Assembled Parties. Here she comes. Hello, Miss Light. Such a wonderful time to see you again. Congratulations on this recognition. So well deserved.
Thank you so much.
We know that this is a recognition that comes in a different ceremony and a different, separate from the competitive categories. Talk to me about what that night was like and what the room felt like to you.
Oh, it didn't. We just rehearsed it this afternoon. I'll be doing it tonight during the commercial. So you'll see a clip of it tonight, but we'll do it during a commercial.
Perfect. Talk to me about what it is to be able to celebrate Broadway and especially on this carpet at 50 Years of Pride with all of the work that you've done for the community over the years.
There's nothing better. There is something about my community, this family, and the community, the LGBTQ plus community, the HIV and AIDS communities, the levels of courage and how people have lived through the years that have been so painful and so difficult and so challenging, and the courage that arose out of this community and the organizations and the kinds of work that got done out of this community changed everything. And so to do it at 50 Years of Pride here at this time from my family, it's the most magnificent thing that I could even imagine.
We were also talking about just all of, your advocacy throughout the years. One of the things that you get to do is the moment of silence at Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, Red Bucket Follies, and that you really take with you the memory. For all of us, I wasn't here in New York at that time, and what it is to really remember that for people who weren't here as well as those who were.
It's one of the most special things that I ever get to do, and that Tom Viola and everybody at Broadway Cares allows me to do that means a tremendous amount to me. It was, I have an address book, and I never take any of their names out of the book. So
very special.
It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to people to remember. And for those young people who don't know it, and thankfully you don't, we have to remind everybody. And we also have to remind people that HIV and AIDS is not over.
I was going to say.
And we have to remind people that we are still living in a bigoted world. And that is a problem, because we're one humanity. You don't get to discriminate against anybody.
Looking forward to 50 more years of Pride. We hope that we continue to make this progress.
And faster than 50 years, please.
Way faster than 50 years.
I'll take it.
Terrific. Well, congratulations. So wonderful to see you. Thank you so much. Miss Judith Light, a 2-time Tony Award winner and now a Tony Honor recipient with the Isabel Stevenson Tony Award. I know that Matt and Chad are coming on the camera. Matthew Sklar, Chad Beglin, the composing lyric team of the prom. Hello!
You look beautiful. Great to see you.
Thank you. You guys look wonderful. Thank you. Oh, I love this color.
Thank you.
Popping,
We're
popping.
doing Pride, Rainbow Pride, so, theming.
Exactly.
Gosh, people have been talking about the prom as, the little musical that could, because coming from a completely original storyline, with people that Broadway loves, but not really huge name stars. Talk to me about the uphill climb of that.
Well, I think it's made us all appreciate it, to the nth degree, because, yes, a show that doesn't have a brand, you have to create the brand, and the only way that can happen is by getting it on stage and on Broadway. So it's been really moving to us watching our audiences just really take the show and love it, and all the kids that are coming up to our actors at the stage door that are being moved and saying thank you for, making me feel represented. That has been really very moving for us. So it's been an amazing journey, and we opened in the fall also. So, we're not as shiny as
right,
new.
you gotta prolong that.
Yeah, yes.
Sustain that energy, really.
Absolutely. So it's been a really thrilling, 7 months so far. I just want to keep it going.
I know that you've been working with Casey Nicola, your director choreographer, since the beginning. What is like a way he steered you that really helped make the show that we see today? That maybe it was one thing and then he gave you this and you were like, oh, now we're locked in.
Well, one big change we made that came from him was when we were out of town in Atlanta, he said he felt like the town that the stars invaded felt like a musical theater town. Yep. So he said, let's make that a real town. Let's make it a town with problems, with issues. And so we did that, and suddenly I think we all felt like we got it right as far as tone goes.
All of a sudden the tone really clicked in after we addressed those notes.
Well, he was saying that like Indiana sort of exists in a play realm.
Yeah.
And then Broadway, of course, exists.
Broadway invades.
Musical theater invades.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, yeah. So that was so helpful.
Yeah.
So what are you allowed to say what we'll be seeing from the show later tonight?
I don't know, are we? I don't know.
Well, it's basically just me doing an interpretive dance for
get ready, everybody.
for about 5 hours.
Get ready.
And then I drink some milk and it's done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to let you guys continue on and enjoy inside.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. If you want to hear more about them, specifically about writing the number It's Not About Me, Beth Level's solo, go to Playbill.com and watch our genesis of a song. You will have your mind blown with the references to Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yes. All right, I have Vanessa Carlton coming live on the camera. Hi, Ruthie from Playbill.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Congratulations, you're about to join the cast of Beautiful, the musical. Talk to me about, have you spoken to Carole King, or are you just really going off of what the script and the text has?
I met Carole King in like 2001, 2002. She was so generous to me. I was such a baby. I didn't know anything. And she invited me to do a songwriting session with her. And I still have the cassette tape that we did our session on. And I just listened to it recently because I was like so scared to listen to what I contributed to that. And oh God, her playing is so stunning. And
how amazing that you've had a songwriting session for her. So when you're playing the scenes where she's writing songs, you really know what that is.
Yeah, I've seen her do it. And she's an inspiration to me as a mother too, because she really figured out how to balance it all in her way. She did things the way that she wanted to do them. And the show was so fantastic. The story, so you've seen it. 5 years running, so it's for a reason. I appreciate them taking a chance on me. I want to,
Well, Vanessa, we can't wait to see you in the show. Congratulations. Welcome to the Tony Awards. All right. Des McAnuff is here on the camera, Tony nominated tonight for his direction of Ain't Too Proud. Who else do I see? I see Jordan Roth and Richie Jackson. Jordan Roth, of course, theater owner through Drew Jameson Theaters, and Richie Jackson, producer of the revival of Torch Song. Scott Ellis, director of Tootsie and Kiss Me Kate. Behind me, he's nominated for direction for Tootsie, but both musicals are nominated in their respective categories. I'm going to talk to everyone I can, I promise. I'm trying to keep an eye out for all of you guys. Who do I see? I see the kids from The Ferryman are here. Give us some love if you've seen The Ferryman. Play by Jez Butterworth. He is nominated tonight for Best Play. And of course, he was previously nominated for Jerusalem, which starred Mark Rylance. I see Tyler Peck, who is a dancer with the New York City Ballet. She has been working on Marie, also formerly known as Little Dancer. Come on in. Hi, Tyler. So wonderful to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Congratulations. I know you've been working hard out in Seattle.
Yeah, we just got back from a really successful run of Marie, a new musical there.
Talk to me about what it's like to work with Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens on such a beautiful story, Degas and his dancers.
I mean, they're really the dream team. It doesn't get much better than that, I don't think, talent-wise and just as people.
The sweetest people.
No, they are. And, I mean, I always tell Stephen, I don't think you understand quite what it feels like to dance to your music.
And even they said that this is one of the favorite scores that they've ever written. So it's really something special, and the show is just so beautiful. I can't wait for Broadway to see it.
I can't wait for Broadway to see more ballet on Broadway.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler, we'll let you make your way inside. Thank you so much for stopping to talk with us.
It was good seeing
You too. Tyler Peck, ladies and gentlemen. She's a dancer, of course, with the New York City Ballet, and working out of town on, as she called it, Marie. It was formerly known as Little Dancer, based on the Degas paintings of him and his ballet dancers. Who am I seeing? I see Daniel Fish nominated tonight for Oklahoma. I see, let's see, Des McAnuff. Hi, Ruthie from Playbill. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You are the master of taking existing catalogs and making brand new art about them, whether it's Donna Summer or Jersey Boys or even The Who's Tommy, which was not a bio-musical but still pre-existing. What's the key to working with a catalog of music and bringing it to life?
You know, I think I'm a reasonably selfish person, like most of us, and I'm interested in my life and my times. So a story has to speak to today. You know, I'm interested in what's going on now, and whatever story you're telling, it has to be pertinent. And that's the great thing about Ain't Too Proud and the Temptations, because the struggles they were going through are very similar to the struggles sadly, that are going on today. And so, and I've had a really messy, confused career. Like I've actually done more Shakespeare than I've done. I've done
Walk in the
bios.
Woods.
Yeah.
And all those things.
So I like to move around, through different genres, and they sort of apply to each other. In this particular case, I grew up in Toronto, and I grew up playing music like almost everybody my age, and we love the music from Detroit, of course. So this is a real dream come true for me, to be able to tell the story of the Temptations and to dive into rhythm and blues. So and the audience reaction is really kind of staggering, I gotta say. They're definitely lining up.
Oh, we love the Temptations.
All right.
All right, well, we're going to let you continue on. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'm going to see if we can get Mr. Jesse Tyler Ferguson on the camera. Hold on 1 minute. We're going to try. Can we get Jesse? Yeah. Okay. Jesse Tyler Ferguson is going to come and visit us, and I am here for it. Two of his former co-stars, Derek Baskin and Celia Keenan-Bolger. The three of them were in the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and tonight Celia and Derek are both nominated for Tony Awards. We're going to try and get him on the camera. Yeah, give me 1 second. Michael McElroy and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Hi, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Everything's so bright.
Everything is so bright. I have a fun little tidbit for you.
Tell me.
On Tony Awards Junket Day, I was asking all of the nominees who they wanted to see host, and Derek Baskin named you.
That's my boy.
Would you consider hosting the Tony Awards?
Of course I would.
I mean, I am here for that.
That is so sweet. I didn't pay him to say that, but
No, he didn't know I was going to ask.
He has my back, so that's good.
What is it like to see him and Celia, two of your former co-stars, like you guys made your debuts together, and now this many years later to see all the success they've achieved?
It's very exciting. I mean, my whole Spelling Bee cast is doing so well, all of them. But Celia and Dan,
yourself included.
Myself included, Celia and Derek rather, being on Broadway the same season, having Tony nominations, being in brilliant shows that are so different than what they did in Spelling Bee. I mean, it's just a testament to how talented they are as actors.
Will we see you back on the Broadway anytime soon?
Yes, you will. I'll be back next season in the revival of Take Me Out.
Yeah! Alongside all the Jessies I said. Jesse Williams and Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Me and Jesse Williams, yeah.
Did you see the original production?
I absolutely saw it twice. I saw it at the Public, and I saw it again when it moved to Broadway.
So does that, is that pressure? Is that joy?
It's incredible pressure because it's a beautiful play, but mostly Dennis O'Hare, who played the role that I am been so graciously given the opportunity to play was mind-bogglingly good. So mind-bogglingly good. He won one of these tchotchkes that we're giving out tonight.
One of these little,
One of these little Tony Awards.
desk, one of these little, what is it, paperweight?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's tricky because it's, I want to put my own stamp on it, but also it's hard to get Ian's performance out of my head.
I have faith in you.
Thank
You
you.
did a remarkable
You and
job the
Derek
last
Baskin's
time.
all I got.
That could be enough to power you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Enjoy inside tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Now I have so patient, so kind, Mr. Michael McElroy of Broadway Inspirational Voices. Hello.
How are you?
Fantastic. Squeeze in here. Get your due.
Nice and close.
Yes. Congratulations, first of all, on 25 years of Broadway Inspirational Voices. I mean, this could not have come at a better time.
You know what? There's timing that you never know what's going to happen. And when I started it 25 years ago, would I have dreamed that I would be here at this moment with this kind of honor happening for us? No. So you never know what's possible.
It's
and I want young people to know that dream big, put your heart out there, work hard, and you never know what can happen for you.
Well, Broadway Inspirational Voices, you do a lot of outreach work. It's one of the core values. What has been an experience that will forever stick out in your mind of working with young people?
Well, we have an outreach program at Ronald McDonald House, and where we match Broadway composers and lyricists with kids battling pediatric cancer. And they meet with them at the living room at Ronald McDonald House over a couple weeks, and then they go away and they write a song, and then my choir members come in and do a concert for the entire house, all the families that are living in the house. And we had a young man who was in his 20s who a year ahead had Make-A-Wish wanted to meet Sting. And we didn't know that, and we matched him with Sting, who was doing Last Ship.
Whoa! Just coincidentally?
And Sting ended up, and Brian Yorkie wrote a song for him about his life. And then Sting invited him to come see him in Last Ship with his family. And then eventually he went back home, and he has a song that represents his life that Sting wrote, Sting and Brian Yorkie wrote.
That is, wow, how extraordinary. Those are the moments. Speaking of moments, aside from Broadway Inspirational Voices, you are such a pillar in this community. You mentor at the Jimmy Awards every single year, which, people are really learning what those are because people have gone on to such successes, whether it's, Eva Noblezada, now Andrew Barth Feldman, and Renee Rapp. Talk to me about what you look forward to this year.
Well, I'm always excited to get in the room with and see the next crop of talent that's coming up. A big part of my growing up years was mentorship. I'm here fulfilling my dream as a Broadway performer and Broadway Inspirational Voices because I had mentors and teachers and arts programs that valued arts education. And so any opportunity that I get to be able to pass that on, to pay it forward, to mentor, to take what I've learned, like the people who came before me taught me, and give that to the next generation, I love it.
And if you're lucky enough to have this man as a teacher, well then...
The winners come from my room.
That's
They do.
That's right, they do. That's right. Well, congratulations. Go enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Michael McElroy, you guys. I have legend Priscilla Lopez right here. So wonderful to see you.
Great to be here.
I had the honor, she probably doesn't remember because it was an overwhelming night, but I met you briefly in the audience of Kiss Me Kate because what an astounding performance that was.
That was. I know. I loved that show so much. And I think everybody in it was fabulous. I mean, it was unexpectedly fabulous. I thought it was going to be great, but it was really fabulous. So it was wonderful.
What are you most excited to root for tonight?
Oh, there's so many of them. It was very hard. I had the pleasure and honor of being nominated this year. So I just found it so overwhelming because I thought, how do you... The funny part was I thought, okay, I'm nominated, I get to pick 5. And then I found out that I had to be a voter too, and then I panicked. I said, you mean I have to choose one? So, and then people said, don't worry, there are 850 something others.
Right. Yes.
But it was very hard because so
still,
many
vote
people.
counts.
I mean, the talent this year, I don't know if it's just that I had to pay more attention to it, but it was truly overwhelming, and I want everybody to win.
What were you looking for when you look at the category as a whole? What are the things you look for?
First, I would think, there are 2 categories that are easier for me to look at, which are choreography and for actors. And then I judge how the actual steps of the choreography, how it relates to the piece, what story it's telling, things like that. I have a real
because that's really choreography as a term is different from just dance because it's always story driven when it's done at its best.
Right. And then as actors, just seeing what it takes to do something, and differentiating from, well, that looked great, but it's kind of easier when you can really, as opposed to being subtle and different colors. So it was very hard.
Do we think we'll see you on stage anytime?
Yes.
When?
Well, first I'm going to Williamstown to do Beth Wall's new play.
Yes.
And then it's coming here to the Helen Hayes in January.
Amazing. Well, you are going to want to watch this woman. Congratulations. Thank you so much for stopping to talk with us. Miss Priscilla Lopez of the original A Chorus Line, In the Heights, Center Stage, the movie, all of it. Look at that cameo. All right. Congratulations. We're going to talk to Daniel Fish now. Hi. Congratulations.
Thank you
Great
so
to see you. You look very fly tonight. Those glasses are excellent.
Thank you.
We saw Shirley Jones earlier. How nerve-wracking was that to have her come see the show, or was it not at all, and you just, the art
I
is
love
what
the
it
show,
is?
so I was so happy that she was there. I think the whole cast was really thrilled that she came. It's a huge honor. We all worship that film. I love that performance that she has, so we were just so happy that she was there.
And you've now extended at least through January. What does it mean to you that so many more people will get to see a new take and really be discussing this work? Because I think that that's what its strength is that it's a conversation starter.
Yeah, I think that's great. I love the show. I want more people to see it. That's why, hopefully after tonight that'll help. Maybe we'll pick up a few awards, and that'll help more people to see it both here in New York and on the road.
In terms of, we were talking to Daniel Kluger earlier about his stripped-down orchestrations, and I said to him, did you start with the full breadth and take away, or did you go to just the vocal score and add? And he said a little bit of both. For you, did you look at all of these bigger productions and strip away, or did you just go back to the text and then build from there?
No, I did two things. I listened to every recording that existed, and I read the text. I didn't really look at other productions other than the film. But I mostly just listened to the recordings from the original Broadway, to the film, to the 79 Broadway, to the 99 Broadway, and then really just engaged with the text and tried not to make too many assumptions about what it should be or how it should be done, and to kind of have a conversation with the material. And it's a great piece.
Well, I love this interpretation. I never want to see Oklahoma done any other way. Get your butts to the Circle in the Square Theater to see this man's gorgeous production. We're wishing you all the luck in the world tonight. Thanks so much, Daniel. Nominated tonight for his direction of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is, of course, nominated for Revival of a Musical. Go head on inside. We have Mr. Sergio Trujillo here, nominated tonight for choreography.
You look gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So beautiful.
Thank you. And of course, husband Jack.
How are you?
Hi.
Nice
Great
to
see
you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm having a ball.
I
You
know,
enjoying yourselves?
and everybody looks so incredibly glamorous. I'm loving it.
Yes, the fashion is on point this year.
That's
People
right.
are starting to step up their game.
Thank you very much. We got to bring it because Broadway is where it's at.
Broadway is where it's at.
Hollywood, you got nothing on us.
Well, talk to me though about your choreography had to meld so many different worlds. Broadway and then the music world, highlighting all of the concerts that they did. So talk to me about, making sure it worked on this stage where we're seeing you up close, but still that aura of a concert performance.
I always keep my eye on pop culture. I always keep my eyes wide open, actually, because generations we change, we evolve, and I think it's important for me to make sure that as I was working on this show, that it was important for me to look at it through the lens of today, and as opposed to just polishing some old moves. So I think the choreography is a fusion of so many styles. It's specific. I used it all with restraint, but because I wanted to feel fresh. I wanted to feel contemporary, but at the same time.
Right. When we spoke, you were telling me that there's elements of musical theater with like hullabaloo, and there's elements of b-boy and hip hop and funk, and that it all sort of blends together to tell this story.
Yeah, I mean, the choreography is tailor-made for this show, for our adaptation of The Temptations. So, it's not a recreation of it. So,
I know that you had incredible talent to work with, from Jeremy Pope to Ephraim Sykes. Now, when this show has announced its tour for next year, 2020, are you looking for people who will be able to, do the mic throw in the spin, or are you looking for people to bring their own? Will you adapt it to more new talent?
No, I think it's success because I have a little bit of success because of my experience with Jersey Boys. Just a little off-Broadway show called Jersey Boys. I've learned that you create the show on people like Ephraim, Jeremy, Derek, Joanne, all of our temps and the rest of the cast, and then we try to find artists that are like them, and you push them. I adjust some things, but they will show up and they will happen, and we will make them. As a matter of fact, some of our understudies right now are almost there. I've just been working with them this week because I'm pushing them but they're all incredibly talented. They're real quadruple threats.
Well, Dominique was saying never underestimate the amount of talent in America. So
never, especially right here in New York City.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Really? Don't forget to watch our opening number.
That's right. James Corden hosting tonight with the opening number. Who do we have? Yes, sure. James and Rupert for me. Yes. James Graham and Rupert Gould, playwright and director of Ink at Manhattan Theater Club. Come on in. I remember you from opening night. It's great to see you. Congratulations. So for those of you who don't know, Ink is the origin story of The Sun, the paper owned by Rupert Murdoch. How has it been since we last spoke, American audiences receiving the story? Does it feel the same as in Britain?
No, not at all. It's alive in a completely different way. It's a different time, a different political context. But no, since opening night when we last saw you, it's gone really well. We're so thrilled. The reviews are really good. Audiences have been coming and have been enjoying the show. I think they've been connecting to the questions it asks about the power of the media and how it impacts on our lives and what's a responsible political discourse that we should all be having with each other. I think it's going really well.
Bertie Carvel nominated tonight for playing Rupert Murdoch. What is it in his performance that you kind of said, that's it, now bring me more of that?
Power, I think. But actually, he has a lot of kind of interior power, which I really, really like. He's really funny. He drives it really well. He's just a complete stage animal. I mean, it's amazing. The last time he was here was in a dress from Miss Trunchbull, and now he's playing a media tycoon. I mean, it's a tribute to his versatility.
Yes, very different, but that speaks to the versatility of your performers. Well, congratulations, nominated for Best Play tonight. Best of luck, Rupert Gould, James Graham. We are going to take a quick look at another one of the Tony-nominated shows from this 2018-2019 season. Take a look. We are back with none other than Dominique Morisseau. Welcome. You look stunning tonight. Congratulations. This is your Broadway debut, which is wild to me. We were talking during our Writers' Roundtable about you coming from the playwriting world. How does that really manifest in what we see in Ain't Too Proud?
I feel like handling the book, I just felt like I had to tell a full story, and so that was where I was coming from from my playwriting background, is how can I make these, when they are talking, how can I make that feel lived in, but how can I also make it not pull away from from what this musical is supposed to be, which is like a conduit for this music to be sung, you know. And I feel excited about how we attempted to do that.
I mean, I think it's stellar. We've talked a lot about Detroit becoming a character, about bringing the women forward. What do we have to do to get more people, and whether it's women or not, just to really understand the full story, to encourage people to look in other corners?
Yeah, I think that we have to remember everybody in this as a human being. You know, I'm here to sort of shine a light on our collective humanity. That's what I think my job is as a storyteller. And I think that means finding where we hurt, where we are bruised, where we are imperfect, and giving reason and method and humanity behind that. And I think that that's sort of how we'll connect with each other in human story across the spectrum of different people, you know, that are in our family, right? So I feel good about that. And also, you know, as a Detroit girl, it's always been important to me to represent my city. And we've had a lot of negative pictures about us. And so I feel very excited to also dig deep into our humanity and say, you might have heard this, but did you hear that? Do you know the full story? And that's, everybody needs to look at people's full story, their total humanity, and not just compartmentalize.
Dare I ask what you are working on next? Because I just want more Dominique in my life always.
I have a few television projects. I have a couple of, I have another musical in the works. And I also have a play that's going to be a signature next year.
We have brought you over to the dark side with more musicals.
I think I'm hooked. I think I'm hooked for life. Yeah.
What is it that you love about writing a musical that is different?
I mean, I love music. And so I personally, as an artist, just want to stretch my instrument as far as it can go. You know, I don't know if I'll do well every time, but I want to see what I have inside of me. And if I can play around in this genre. So for me, and I love music so much, so it's a part of my stories anyway. This just feels like another way to enhance my story.
Fantastic. Well, break a leg tonight. We're cheering for you. Just have fun in there. All right. Dominique Morisseau, the book writer of Ain't Too Proud, The Life and the Times of the Temptations. We are still waiting for more stars to arrive. I know you guys have been watching for a while, but don't worry. We still have more coming your way. All right. Sophia Ann Caruso. I will be looking for her. I don't actually know if she's definitely walking the carpet. While Beetlejuice is nominated tonight, she isn't. So she may be backstage getting ready for performing with the show. But I will keep my eyes out for her since I know we have fans. Hi, everyone from California and England and Australia and the Philippines. We are thrilled to have you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yes, I see Miss Julie White. Look at yours, pretty in pink. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Julie had to come on to the production, like, what was it, 6 days you learned the role?
5. Because the first day of rehearsal, Monday, I was doing a benefit for Lincoln Center.
Oh my God, you were doing the Camelot benefit, which I saw. Stellar.
So I had to do that wacky thing. And then so I came in Tuesday and started rehearse Tuesday through Saturday. And then Sunday was the day off, and then started previews on Monday.
How do you even find a character that quickly?
I made some choices.
Is it just like instinct?
Well, yeah, and what Taylor has written is so extraordinary, and I just played the situation, which is extreme. So it's extreme. And I realize I'm kind of channeling my mother.
Are you really?
Because my mom, God bless her, she's no longer with us. But she was so dramatic. And she was so that's her voice.
Oh my God. It's a great voice. But now I know why you can channel it so easily.
Yeah, because it's Sue Jane. That was her name, Sue Jane. And my sister and I were laughing that she even kind of had that hairdo.
You were fantastic in a comedy. What is it that you love about bringing comedy to people? And
I mean, what I love about this play is it's using comedy to talk about
some things.
yeah, some really serious stuff. And it falls off from comedy to tragedy, and then you jump right back into it. So what I love is that it keeps the audience, you're off balance and you're having an experience. And it's not like we're telling you how to feel, you're just having feelings. So it's a new kind of theater, and Taylor Mack is, I just think, kind of a genius.
It really is. There's a reason he's nominated tonight.
Yes.
So, well, Julie, thank you so much. Break a leg tonight. Congratulations on your nomination.
Look fantastic.
Thank you so much, Miss Julie White, nominated tonight for Gary, a sequel to Titus Andronicus, written by Taylor Mack, another debut playwright. He is far from a new voice, but he's a new voice to Broadway. He's a MacArthur Genius Award winner for his 24-decade history of music. Read up on it if you haven't. Julie co-stars alongside Christine Nielsen, also nominated tonight, and of course the legendary Nathan Lane. So it's pretty much a three-hander. Shakespeare's goriest tragedy, Titus Andronicus, leaves off with basically a giant massacre, and now Gary the clown, Janice the maid, and Carol the midwife are left to clean it all up. And it's about what happens when you have to clean up the messes of other people, and how art might be the savior of us all. And if there's not a message more worth hearing than that, I don't know what is. Brandon Uranowitz, we will be looking for him. I'm looking for Caitlin Kinnunen. We have not seen a lot of the stars yet, and I have a feeling they're going to come through in like a deluge, and we're going to have to go really fast with every single one. Caitlin Kinnunen, of course, nominated tonight for her role in The Prom. She's nominated in the same category as her co-star, Beth Level. Jeremy. I tried for you guys. Jeremy Pope, he is scooting in there. I apologize, you're going to see a lot of my back because I want to get everyone for you. Emily DeHope wants to see Patrick Page nominated tonight for Hadestown as the king of the underworld, Hades himself. Stephanie J. Block nominated tonight for playing one of three Chers in the Cher Show. I'm keeping an eye out for all of them. I see Derek Baskin. He's on the carpet. I see Juwan Jackson. He is one of the 5 Temptations as part of the cast of Ain't Too Proud. Who else do I see? We're going to be looking for Brandon Uranowitz. I know we have fans out there from Burn This. Okay. We're keeping an eye out. I'm here. I am live. We would like Mr. David Byrne. We'll ask a question for Mr. David Byrne, who's about to come to Broadway. Hello. Hi. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
I think we last saw you involved in theater with Here Lies Love,
That's true.
which was amazing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that comes back.
And I would love for that to come back. And now you're going to bring American Utopia
That's right,
to Broadway.
Fall, and I get to be a presenter tonight, which is exciting.
What award are you presenting?
Best score.
Oh, of course. Do you have a favorite personally?
No.
No favorites. I mean, what it takes. You were the first person who said to me that you wrote for people for it to sound like the soundtrack of the character.
Yes.
And now I think people have taken a page out of your book.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've seen a lot more pop on Broadway ever since then.
Oh, well, that's true. Yes.
And just
the
like,
audience
and
is
that
crazy.
idea, like this is a song that Evan Hansen would listen to. This is a song that Zoe would listen to.
Exactly. Yeah, and it has to sound like believable in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what do you most look forward to with American Utopia?
Oh, we're making little changes from what it was before, and I'm looking forward to seeing if I can bring a little bit more of a narrative to the show.
We love a narrative. Bruce Springsteen style.
Not quite that, but yes, a little bit.
Well, terrific.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you on the Broadway. Mr. David Byrne of the Talking Heads. He wrote the score to Here Lies Love, which was off Broadway, won a Lucille Lortel Award years ago. We're going to try and get Robin DeJesus on the calendar. bearing his Puerto Rican pride today. Today is the Puerto Rican Pride Parade here in New York, so the streets are clogged with celebrations for both the Tony Awards and for Puerto Rican Pride. I'm going to give this signal to his publicist. Robin. All right, we'll get Robin. He is nominated tonight for The Boys in the Band, which we spoke to playwright Mark Crowley earlier in the broadcast. A gorgeous revival production starring Robin as well as Zach Quinto, Jim Parsons, Robin DeJesus, Charlie Carver, Andrew Rannells. It was just an all-star cast. Tuck Watkins, Benjamin Washington. I see Mr. Andre DeShields, legend. He is playing Hermes in Hadestown, and he was the original Wiz in The Wiz. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this ensemble. Mr. Andre DeShields, come hither, sir. Goodness gracious, you know how to show up.
I try.
That's right.
Sometimes it works.
Talk to me about, you are really the conduit for the audience as kind of our guide for the story, the messenger god, if you will. What is it like to build a relationship with a new audience every single night?
It's absolutely delicious because what it does for me personally, it turns me into an emerging talent because they don't know me from Adam.
We know you from Adam.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they know me as Mr. Hermes, right? The bio is 100 words, so we can't say everything that we've done. But I like that. There was a family in the theater the other night. It was a 9-year-old boy, and he was very excited about the show. And he liked Mr. Hermes. So I asked him, I said, do you think I have a future in the theater? He says, oh, yeah.
So you're just inspiring even the youngest of generations.
That's what we have to do. Someone has to explain to them how we got from there to here.
Talk to me about working with Michael Crass on your costume for Hermes. And really, it's that like very sleek, pristine look. You've got the winged cuffs for Hermes.
Fortunately, it was a lovely collaboration because sometimes you work with the designer and you wear what has been decided the design for the character is. But Michael asked me during one of the sessions, so what do you think?
It's a true collaboration.
Yeah. And you know, the Hadestown is placed in New Orleans.
Yes, I did. Preservation Hall.
Right. So how can you do something in New Orleans and not have that black guy to bring a little stank, a little rhythm and blues, a little silver shark skin suit?
We love that. Perfect. Well, Andre, break a leg tonight. We'll be cheering for you. Thank you so much. All right. I see Fionnuala Flanagan is here. Hello. Wonderful to see you. Congratulations. So do you. Your co-star Laura is just behind you. What has it been?
Yes.
What has it been like to get, to go from that cast and to get used to a new cast? And how has your Maggie Faraway changed in The Ferryman?
Well, Maggie Faraway sort of doesn't change at all, but and the children are still the same kids.
Right, who you're telling the stories to.
Brilliant. They're in it from the beginning. So I thought it was all going to be horribly different and that I would be uncomfortable. But in fact, the American cast is marvelous. Brian Darcy James and Holly Fain, they're wonderful.
I came back to see it for a third time with that cast. Yeah. The play is just so strong that it holds up with all of you.
Yes, you could do this probably any country in the world and who've had divisions in politics.
And yet you're from Dublin. What is it like to bring a piece of your own personal history to so many people who may not know it?
Well, I think it's great because, the truth of the matter is that the hunger strike in the north of Ireland that happened when the play is happening, the fallout from that is still being felt. I mean, the number of suicides, the number of broken families as a result of the hunger strike, it was never really dealt with from a mental health point of view. And so it's wonderful to be able to bring people's attention to it. And the cast are all reading the book 10 Men Dead and Say Nothing and etc. So, you know, so it's very current from that point of view.
Well, Fionnuala, thank you so much for stopping to chat with us. Break a leg tonight. Wonderful. Fionnuala nominated tonight for The Ferryman on Broadway. I'm going to migrate to this side. Nominated tonight for The Ferryman, which is also nominated for Best Play. She plays Aunt Maggie Faraway, and she is absolutely stunning. We have Robin DeJesus to my left, nominated for The Boys in the Band. He's going to come on camera. I saw Laura Donnelly walk by. She's nominated tonight for The Ferryman. We're going to see if we can get her back. Who else do I see? Miss Beth Levo. Hello, I love you. My co-star. All right, she has to run because she's got multiple things to do. She gets all done up and then she has to put a wig over that hair and then get the hair done again. I mean, what we demand of these performers, it's insane. Susan Stewart, Maggie Faraway. Yes, I love to have, you know, our youngest and our most veteran performers all here. Fionnuala is from Dublin, but this is her 4th Broadway credit, so she has had a career that has spanned the oceans, and she's just breathtaking in this show. Marissa Tomei, to my right. It is just a star-filled carpet. Thank you all so much for tuning in live. I'm going to give you a little bit of Tony Awards trivia right now. The very first Tony Awards happened in 1947, took place at the Waldorf Astoria, and only about 1,000 people were in attendance. They didn't have statues, they handed out scrolls, and everyone got a money clip, and the men got cigarette lighters, and the women got compacts. How about that? Yes, I just need Robin first. Robin, hi, quick question, hi.
How's it going?
It is Robin DeJesus, your 3rd nomination.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I was reading Seth Rudetsky's column on Playbill this week. was talking about, we'll do the PG part of it, which was about how you almost didn't audition for La Cage.
Oh, that one. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, how you didn't audition for La Cage almost because you were like, there's nothing I can bring to this role. Did you have any of the same feelings with Emery, or was that a role that you looked at and you were like, I can do something with this?
I knew that I could do Emery, and I was very aware of that, and I was aware that there was so much meat in the script. I knew there was a lot of resources, but I also knew there were traps. I knew it would be really easy to become such a caricature of someone that needed to be really human. And so for me, it was just trying to ride that balance and make sure that I didn't become an eager beaver and want to chew the scenery more than I needed to, especially because a lot of the comedy is just there. You just have to be, you know?
Absolutely. And I see you got your Puerto Rican pride on today.
My mom's in the back. I got a flag back there. It's Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's Pride Month. There's a lot of pride in my life right now. My whole Puerto Rican family's here today. They're repping. It is like the intersection of so many loves of my life.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for stopping to talk with us. Go inside. We'll be cheering for you. Robin DeJesus. All right. Laura Donnelly is here. Marissa Tomei is here. Hello. You look absolutely stunning. I'm Ruthie from Playbill. Wonderful to meet you. I know that you have been such a support. We do. We've got the high pony going. Well, I will take that. To look like Marissa Tomei, someone should only say that to me. I know that you've been in such a support of off-Broadway theater through MCC over all of these years. What is it like to be here for Broadway, and who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm thrilled to be here for this community, and everyone goes back and forth between Broadway and off-Broadway, off-Broadway. I'm very in love with Heidi Schreck. I mean,
because who isn't?
Yeah. I mean, the mind behind that, the heart and soul, and the perseverance, and bring that to all of us. Waverly Gallery is dear to my heart because of Kenny Lonergan.
Waverly Gallery.
Same theater company. But I'm There at Hadestown, Rachel Chafkin, and
You are up on your theater. Yes. Yes.
I think I just show up in a dress and kind of.
Some people do. I didn't doubt it, but I love that you have such, that where our taste is in line as well.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy. All right, we're going to get. Oh, I have competing. Okay. Kelly O'Hara is here. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Congratulations, you look stunning tonight.
Thank you.
I mean, so much love for you, for this cast. Talk to me about the importance and what it means to you to bring back a classic show like Kiss Me Kate for today's audiences.
Well, I wouldn't do it if we couldn't change it, if we couldn't update it and make it stronger. And I'm really proud of what we've been able to do because we didn't fix the things that weren't broke, but we brought some agency to these characters, these women.
Right.
So that was fun for me.
But that there is, to hear that Cole Porter score again is worth all of the surgery.
Absolutely. You don't want to mess that up. We're really, really proud of having, we've got new orchestrations by Larry Hawkwind, and he's nominated this year, which makes them lush and beautiful and current. But that score is one of the sexiest, diverse scores I've heard ever.
I heard you sing So in Love at your town hall concert with Seth before you officially began previews. What does it feel like to sing in that spot in your voice and to sing, like you said, all over the place in this score?
You don't get a chance often to sing kind of sexy soprano, dark, sexy. And I always think of So in Love as that dark soprano. And I really, really, I look for it because that song in particular is one of my favorite things to sing.
Gorgeous. Well, Kelly, congratulations. Thank you so much for stopping with us. Queen Kelly O'Hara. Now, Miss Laura Donnelly, thank you so much for your patience. Ruthie from Playbill. Phenomenal to see you. Congratulations on tonight. You departed the show in February. What is sitting with you now, having some time away from it, that you're like realizing things or things are hitting you, kind of aftershocks?
Sheer regret for having left. No, not really. It's it was such a privilege to even be part of the show, and I'm so glad that the show had life after the original cast because it deserved to. And so, anytime that I was going to leave, I wanted it to continue. And and I know that the new cast are doing an amazing job. So I feel complete.
I was saying to Fanula, it just speaks to the strength of Jez's work and Sam's work that it functions, no matter who is in it, as long as you have incredible talent like we had and we have.
Absolutely.
What is the thing that you most communed with in Caitlin from the very beginning that you thought, not just her story, but who she is as a person, I know her, I can do this?
I think it was her resilience. I think the fact that she was trying all the time to maintain something, some kind of balance for the sake of everyone else around her, and that she just wanted to be the strong person in that household, despite everything that was going on around her. I think whenever a character has something that they are struggling against all the time, that the audience is aware of, but nobody on the stage is, that's where drama lies.
Well, congratulations. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Phenomenal performance. We were lucky to have you as long as we did. Laura Donnelly from The Ferryman, you guys. All right, I am keeping an eye out. We're going to see if we can get some of these stars on. I see Tuck Watkins. I see Andrew Reynolds. I see Jawan Jackson from Ain't Too Proud. We're going to see maybe Andrew Reynolds will come talk to us. We're going to see. Andrew. I'm trying for you guys. I see the whole cast of the boys in the band. They're all here together. I see James Harkness from Ain't Too Proud. I do see Damon Dono for the fans out there. Damon Dono is in the house. I see Ephraim Sykes. Who else do we see? All right, now this is the part where we jockey, okay? I need to stand on this side so I can see who's coming down the way for you. Okay. All right. Hello, Jawan. How are you?
I'm well. Good to see you.
You look fabulous,
Thank
as
you.
promised.
Oh, yeah.
Who you wearing?
I'm wearing Miranda Catucci.
So
I love it.
Thank you. You know, it's a little. I'm trying to do colors and try to step
I
on
love
in.
some bright colors. You wouldn't know by tonight, but I do generally love
Listen,
colors.
I think we match too, so it's fine.
Hey, we'll take a photo later.
Yeah.
Talk to me about performing on your first Tony Awards tonight.
You know, my first Tony Awards as a
Motown.
principal. Motown was my first one
Right.
as an ensemble member, but my
Right.
first
Now you're
principal
first as a
debut. You know, I'm excited. I cannot wait to see, you know, for everybody to see what I, you know, been trying to do since I was 12 years old. You know, and so it's exciting time.
Do you feel like the temptation you're most naturally like is your character Mel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am the heart and the goofball of this group. I'm always cracking a joke. I'm always, you know, doing something, you know, silly. But I love to give too, and that's who Melvin was through and through. And everybody I've ever encountered that knew him, you know, and they always remember him by saying those things. And so I just feel like I've touched down, and you know, we're connected. I can't shake him now.
Well, we don't want you to shake him or that voice. Congratulations.
Thanks, my love.
Always love to see you. Give me a
pleasure.
hug. Break a leg in there.
Thank you.
We'll be cheering for you. Joanne Jackson plays Mel in Ain't You Proud. Someone's telling me something, but I couldn't hear. 20% better. Okay. We're gonna run it to the end. If we have to plug in and get rid of the microphone, we can do that for a little bit. But you know, you come with a full charge on your camera and you pray. But we are gonna get people as best we can. I have Andrew Rannells next to me. I do see Brandon Uranowitz, whoever was looking for Brandon. Woo! So many of you commenting. Winter Powell, I am going to try for Andrew Rannells. Oh yeah, Juwan's outfit was giving some Thomas Jefferson and Hamilton vibes. I totally feel that. I definitely feel that. All right. I'm keeping open. I see Mr. Ephraim Sykes. I'm going to flag him down. Yeah. We are going to get Mr. Brooksius Manskis. Hello.
How are you?
Congratulations. I'm fabulous. Thank you so much. You have been with this role for a number of years now, friend.
Yes.
What is the biggest difference between Barry in those early readings and Barry who we see now in the prom?
You know, I think the biggest difference is we sort of found the heart of Barry. He was always funny, and it was always sort of crazy and comic, but we found the sort of levels to go into to make everything seem more important in a way. The funny is more important, and the serious stuff. I'm glad we found that.
Me too. I mean, you make me laugh, you make me cry. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yes, that's the whole point. Absolutely. It's
what has it been like to greet some of these Stage Door fans? You know, it's got such a mighty fan base.
Yes, it's very moving actually, because I always knew this story had some important things to say, but I honestly never saw it coming that these young girls come backstage afterwards and you sign their programs and they feel represented finally, or for the first time even. It is important, and I try to veer away from that word sometimes in the theater. It's like, okay, how important is that?
Right.
But you know, when you see a young person being sort of changed or whatever, touched by something, it's nice.
Well, Brooks, we are cheering for you tonight. Congratulations! Nominated for lead actor in a musical for The Prom. Break a leg. I see Mr. Brandon Uranowitz. I see Ephraim Sykes. Ephraim! We're going to try and get Ephraim for Playbill. We are going to get... Yes, you are a star, sir. And look at this. Yes, we'll ask 2 quick questions for you.
Sure.
Alrighty. Talk to me about doing Sergio's choreography and being able, like, you come from the dance world, so, like, being able to live that to the fullest.
it's such an honor to be working with Sergio again. He's known me, like you said, since I was a dancer, kicking my face and doing double tours. Memphis, exactly. So he's always believed in me, and to be able to bring some more of his work to life right now, it's just like another really full circle moment that means the world to me. And I just, because he's always believed in me and pushed me, I just do my best. I try to give him my all every night, the same way I do to Otis Williams, who's here. You know what I mean? Like it's been a beautiful journey so far. You know.
Talk to me about being nominated in the same category as Jeremy and what it's been like to share that with him and Derek as well. You know, not in your category, but the three of you guys, as 3 of the 5.
We have a legit brotherhood. Like when we're not on stage together, we're together. You trust and believe that. We literally
you can feel that.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, that's the thing that makes the audience really gravitate and sink into the story, because I love my brothers and I look at they love me and they carry me and I carry them, and that's what that show is all about. So to be able to again say these words, sing these songs, be nominated for these awards, I couldn't have thought of you can't write this. You can't write being on a red carpet with your best friends, you know?
Right. And who are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Tom Brown tonight. Yeah.
All right, Ephraim.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Great to see you. Break a leg.
Thank you.
Ephraim Sykes plays David Ruffin in Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations. I see Damon Dono is here. Brandon Uranowitz is here. Gideon Glick is here. We are going to go lickety-split through all of them. Hi. Sure. Yeah. Gideon, my darling. How are you?
You look gorgeous.
Thank you, as do you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me about how the trio of you operate. Like, what role do you feel each of you plays in the trio of the memory?
Oh, that's really interesting. Well, we kind of think of ourselves as one unit, almost as like
Dill Scout Gem from To Kill a Mockingbird. Keep up.
Come on, guys. Jeff Still is a company member of ours, and he wrote this really great piece about us, and he said, oh, it's like there's 4 actors. It's Celia, Will, and Gideon, but also the 4th character is what they create together, and that's kind of how we view it. It is one vessel that kind of holds each other up.
Has there been one audience reaction that has stood out to you now being 7 months in that you're like, I'm going to remember that one?
I would say when the kids come. We've been doing student matinees where we have like 1,400 public school students, because we have an initiative where the public school students get $10 tickets, and it is a completely different show, and it's extraordinary, and you just tell the tale becomes, you tell it a little differently. Yeah.
Well, Gideon, thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations on your nomination.
Have a good night.
For Dill in To Kill a Mockingbird on Broadway. To Kill a Mockingbird is nominated for 9 Tony Awards tonight, including Gideon and his co-star Celia Keenan-Bolger and his co-star Jeff Daniels. It is Celia's 4th nomination. Will tonight be the night? We shall see. We're going to get Damon on the camera. I see Ali Stroker is in the room. She is here for Oklahoma. Oh, yes. She is wearing a fabulous yellow dress, very Ado Annie. We'll get up close and personal for her. She's got some Surrey with the fringe on top. I love it. I have Caitlin Kinnunen here for you. Caitlin, your fans have been clamoring. What? You look gorgeous. Yes to this ink. Has that been there and we're just showing it off, or is it new?
It's been there for like a year and a half now.
It's beautiful.
It's my favorite.
Okay, let's talk about your journey with this character. Yeah. Talk to me about staying grounded in like Emma's world while you have all the crazy musical theater people around you.
Well, what's so amazing about this show and how it was written is that Emma is the most sure of herself and what she wants. All of these things get thrown at her, but she remains so honest and truthful to who she is at the core that playing that every night and just tapping into that is actually really easy, because there's these like whirlwinds around her, but she's just this like pillar of strength in the middle of it all.
Talk to me about what you grab from each of those 4 to like then infuse into you.
Yeah, I mean, I think true fearlessness, being a little bit braver, being a little bit bolder, and truly embracing who she is.
Yeah. And you came here when you were 16 to do Spring Awakening, and now to be here at the Tony Awards so soon. I mean, it's just all the dreams come true, but did you think it was possible? Like, is that why you came when you were 16?
No. I came when I was 16 to just follow that dream and see what happened. This was never something that I expected to happen, and so I am flabbergasted in the best way.
Phenomenal. Well, break a leg tonight. You look gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Caitlin Kinnunen, everyone plays Emma in The Prom. All right. We've got Mr. Damon Dono coming on the camera. Hi.
Lovely to meet you.
Always fantastic to see you. You look very dapper.
Thank you very much. Likewise.
Thank
Everybody
you.
looks so gorgeous.
I know, isn't it fun?
Yeah, really.
Like, we should all dress up like this more
Yeah,
often.
why not? Casual Sundays.
You've been with this role for a little while. Talk to me about what's changed for you, what's evolved for you. I know you were mentioning like the proposal scene is very different along the way.
Yeah, certainly. What's different is a lot of life has happened for all of us on individual levels since we first began in 2015. And for me personally, I got married, and so something like the proposal scene takes on a different level when you've actually experienced what it means to ask somebody to marry you and for them to say yes, and things like that. So it's deepened and grown as we have deepened and grown as humans.
You get to play guitar in this. You get to sing really close up camera in this. It's calling on so many different tools in your arsenal. Have you gotten more comfortable? Is it tougher to get like fresh every night? Talk to me about doing all of the different things you have that are demanded of you.
Yeah, well, I'm very grateful for all those opportunities that Daniel's created a real celebration of storytelling in all of its forms and mediums, and so the target practice of having to do that authentically every single night has I feel like I've learned a lot, and but it requires you to be present every single day. So it's a real thrill. It's a bit of a playground. You know, it's like a jungle gym for theatrical artistry.
I love that. Well, go see the Jungle Gym over at Circle in the Square, Oklahoma. Break a leg tonight.
Great to see you.
Always good to see you. Damon Dono, you guys, nominated for his portrayal of Curly in the Oklahoma revival. All right, we have Rachel Sussman, producer, and Rachel Brosnahan of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel here tonight. Rachel Brosnahan got her start in theater, and so she's going to come over. Yeah, come on in. I've got the Rachels. Hello. Hi, Ruthie. Great to see you. Congratulations. Talk to me about coming back home to theater, because we know in the theater that this is, you know, where you started before Maisel, and what it means to be able to like bring the lens back to theater.
Well, the Tonys has always been one of my favorite nights, but really this year is one of my favorite nights of all time because my best friend Rachel Sussman is a Tony nominee.
That's right, she is.
Thank you.
I mean, we're all so thrilled with what you've brought here. Talk to me about working with her and making it Broadway ready.
I mean, I am a co-producer on the show, so I didn't have the same direct impact that our lead producers, Matt Ross, Diana DeMena, and Aaron Glick had. But I think that the show just feels like on this Broadway platform, it's more accessible to more people, and it's going to make an even larger impact now.
And a show like this, I mean, with Heidi, you need that.
Oh, absolutely. And we already announced we're going on tour after we finish our run at the end of August. So
if you don't catch What the Constitution Means to Me on Broadway, you can catch it on tour. And it'll be so fascinating to see, will Heidi be going on tour? I don't think so, right? Or it's not announced, but
they already ran a piece that says we're going to be looking for someone else. So stay tuned.
So it'll be very cool to see someone else tell that story.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We have so much to look forward to from both of you. Season 3 coming along, and more amazing women-driven theater from this one over here. Can't wait to see more from Suffragists, especially. All right, congratulations. Great to see you both. I see Taylor Mack is here on the carpet. Kristen Chenoweth is here. Joe Iconis is here. Mary Testa is here. Hello, great. How are you? Congratulations. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
I want you, the people are listening. It is live. Deliver your message about audiences to the people.
Today?
If you want to.
No, I don't want to today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we just want more audiences to come see us, to see this show. Talk to me about what's been, Shirley Jones was here today, and what's been special about bringing a new Oklahoma.
She came to the show yesterday, she and her son, and they loved it. And her son said it's the first time he actually listened to the text. So that's a wonderful thing.
That's the whole thing about the show. You're really listening in a different way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I was talking to Daniel Kluger about the stripped down orchestrations as well. Do you feel that the songs ring differently to you?
I do. I think people actually hear the lyrics and it takes on a whole new meaning for them. I do, yeah.
Well, Mary, thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations. All right. Joe Iconis is on the carpet. I see Heidi Schreck. I see Amber Gray. I see Taylor. I absolutely want Taylor Mack. Hello, Ruthie. So wonderful to see you. I am such a newcomer to your fandom, but I love your work. I loved Gary. You say so much with your work. Talk to me about what it is to get Broadway to embrace a black comedy like this.
Well, I don't think it's that odd, actually. I think sometimes people say that it's odd because it's not something they've seen that often on Broadway. But actually, it's older than theater. It's just very Greek, what we're doing. It's like Aristophanes would combine a lot of lowbrow humor and highbrow considerations in the same play. And that's kind of what we're doing. And the same thing with the Elizabethans, with Shakespeare. Always poetry, always low comedy, always philosophy,
Well, and you also sort of blend different, prose blended with... Oh, I lost an earring. That's a problem. We will find it. You blend prose with, with iambic pentameter, and you're really playing with language in the show.
Yeah, I like to mix it up a little bit. I like to squish genre, styles, forms, and forms of language all the time. So in most of my plays, there's verse and just regular old prose, and there's rhyming couplets, and I just try to mix it up because I think theater is about surprise, and it doesn't have to be a big surprise like this, but it can be a small surprise, just like how two words fit together. Yeah.
Well, Taylor, congratulations on your nomination tonight. We're going to let you go inside. All right, we're going to take a break and show a quick clip from one of the Tony-nominated shows this season.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. Seen the last of me.
Every
probably a lot of criticism about acting, which I have myself.
All right, we are back on the Tony Awards red carpet. We are doing our best. I have Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Sturridge to my right. They are going to be bringing their off-Broadway play, Seawall of Life, to Broadway in July. I cannot wait for you to see this. It is a moving, hilarious, stunning night of theater. We're going to see if we can get Red making a statement with her fashion. Incredible. I hope you guys can see us. I know some people are saying they're just getting a black screen. So hopefully we'll be back.
I've had a couple moments in my career where I feel like it's already bigger than the thing that I'm doing.
I hope. Can people hear us? I did. I found the earring. We're all okay. I'm coming down with Josh Groban in a second. All right, we're working on technical. Okay, I am working hard.
Stop. I mean, it's last year was Josh Groban and Sarah Bareilles.
We're a little frozen. Do you want to?